Hey guys, so this is our day 2 in Bangkok, and today is sort of a hectic day. We don't have much time, so unfortunately we won't see as much as we wanted to see in the city of Bangkok, but we saw the Old Kingdom temples yesterday, which was equally as cool. But today we have a few hours to explore, and of course the place I wanted to see is the famous Wat Trimit. By the way, Wat means temple, right? So whenever you have a temple, first word will be Wat, and then it will come, the next words will be the name of the actual temple. But today we're at Wat Trimit, and it is a very, very, very special temple that houses one of the most important Buddhistic statues in the world. So let me show you the temple from the outside. So here you guys are. This is the Wat Trimit in Bangkok. Look at this beautiful temple right in the center there. Of course, you see the Thai king. This is the Rama the Ninth. So this is the king that unfortunately has passed away just a few years ago. He was I think the longest reigning king in the Rama dynasty so far. He was very loved by his people. He was seen as developing Thailand quite well, so there's a lot of veneration to him, and in fact you'll see people actually praying to him as well as to the Buddha, because he's sort of seen in a way as embodiment of that, of Buddha himself, of Dharma. You can see those beautiful golden domes. Of course this is more of a Thai style representation of the stupa that we saw. Quite different, hey, from the Khmer style that we saw in Ayutthaya city, the capital of the old Ayutthaya kingdom. So quite different, but that's not the most important part. I'll tell you the most important part in a second. All right, guys, so we're scaling the steps of this beautiful temple, Wat Tram. As you can see, here's a beautiful portrait of Rama the Ninth, much venerated leader. Okay, we're gonna watch the stairs. Look how beautiful that is. Wow. Huh. Oh my. Oh, this is really neat. Here's some figures of mythology. You see a warring elephant. Actually, was a lotus in his tusk. And then what appears to be almost a Hinduistic god on top of him. Huh. Very interesting. Look at that. There's what appears to be a male body, but with large bosoms. This is quite interesting. Huh. Okay. You can see a little bit of Bangkok as we ascend. Okay. Here we have blossoming lotuses, flowers. Yeah, just wonderful. It's not too far of a steep climb. All right, here we are. As you can see, there's some venerative things you can buy before you go into the temple. Okay, let's find the entrance, but let me show you this beautiful thing up close. As you can see, it looks like it's perhaps gold gilded. So you might ask, why this temple? Why did you decide to come here instead of many, many other temples? Well, this temple houses the largest Buddha statue in the world made out of gold. Isn't that neat? Largest Buddhist statue sorry, not Buddhist, well, Buddhist, but of Buddha in the whole entire world. Let's see. Oh my, would you look at that? So here you have the Makaras in a very Thai style, but look at that. Okay, let's take off our shoes first. Oh, wow. Hey guys, so you're not supposed to talk while inside the main temple, but I wanted to tell you a little bit of a story why this Buddha is so important. This Buddha has a very unique story. Basically what happened in 13th century, you had a smaller kingdom called the Sukhothai kingdom. It was part of many other Thai kingdoms at the time. Eventually it got absorbed into the Aotea kingdom that we saw yesterday. And so what happened was, historians believe that this Buddha was built in Sukhothai times, which is 13th century. And sort of how they can tell is the head of the Buddha is in an egg shape, which is very, very typical of Sukhothai art. So what happened was, when Sukhothai kingdom got absorbed into Aotea kingdom, the king of Ayutthaya decided to move this Buddha into the city of Aotea, where we were yesterday. And that's where it stood for another 300 to 400 years. This Buddha is made out of almost pure gold. So the body you see right here is 60% gold. The head is 80% gold. And then the hair is 100% gold. Altogether, this is 5.5 ton worth of gold, which costs around $250 million. Of course, it's priceless. You can't put a price on it, but that sort of gives you a proportion of just how grand this thing is. So, you stand in the kingdom of Aotea for 300 to 400 years. Then you have the Burmese invasion in the 18th century. So what the Aoteans did, they covered the statue with stucco. So it was like a mixture of concrete and colorful glass. And they covered it completely, and nobody quite knew what it was. So when the Burmese came and they pillaged the whole city, they didn't think that this statue was made out of gold, and they kept it in place. And there it stood for some time. So when the Chakri dynasty came around, after they kicked out the Burmese, the Rama I decided to gather all of these artifacts of Buddhism from all these destroyed cities that Burmese left. And one of the artifacts that he brought to Bangkok was this statue from the city of Aotea, where we were yesterday. So he brought it from there and put it in one of the temples here. And it was just kind of like a major Buddha in the temple, but nobody quite knew what it was. It was a magnificent big Buddha statue, but nobody knew its true value. And that way it stood for 200 years. For 200 years, people venerated this Buddha as it was painted in the stucco and it was kind of covered in colorful glass. Then, come 1950s, they're moving the statue from one temple to another, and what happens is they drop it. One of the cords breaks loose, and the statue falls to the ground, and usually would be a very sad moment, but this was quite the opposite. They saw that a piece of stucco actually fell off, and they saw gold underneath. So they started kind of taking the stucco piece by piece, and eventually they found that the whole statue is built out of gold. It was a great discovery, especially because it happened 200 and 500 years after Buddha's death. So people kind of talk about the statue in a very miraculous way, because it manifested itself exactly 200 and 500 years after Buddha's death. And that's when people found out again, after 200 years of it being unknown, that it's made out of pure gold. Another cool fact is that actually when they were putting this plaster off the statue, they found a little key in it. And if you turn the key, you can actually disassemble this whole statue in 9 pieces that fit smoothly together, and you can easily transport it. So what a unique, magnificent and magical statue that dates all the way back to the 13th or 14th century from a kingdom of Sukhothai that was hidden from people for many, many years, and now we know its true nature. And I guess as a good luck, when you leave, you're supposed to do this. Really cool. So there we are, guys. We just saw the largest gold Buddha statue in the world right here in the temple in Bangkok. And boy, was it nice. Like, you know, you just walk there and the gold just kind of gleams at you. And you know, when you see something like that, you get sort of kind of good energy. How do I put it? So, you know, I felt that. I felt really nice in there. So I highly suggest you check it out if you're in Bangkok. It's sort of right in the center of the city. So yeah, really neat. Glad we took a stop by here before we have to run to the airport. Here we see the sort of the minor temples around the main temple. So there's the main one, as you can see. But here's the minor shrines, and this is where you can sort of, I guess, put your shrine, your offerings in. You just walk from the street. See, there's another statue of Buddha. So you can imagine this is maybe something that people thought the Buddha looked like. You see well, this one is black, but the other one would probably have been white, and it also would have glass on it. So you can imagine their surprise when a piece chipped off and they could see, you know, a gold shining through the stucco. Yeah, pretty neat. Yeah, there we go. Close up, real like the very top. Look at that. I thought it was just like a triangle, but it's actually like a cone, as you can see, made up of rings. So interesting. You know, it's quite a gloomy day today, but the gold shines so bright even on the gloomy days here. Quite beautiful. I don't think I've done this enough on this trip, but I just wanted to show you briefly the streets of Bangkok. You know, you have the old with the new. So you have the old buggies here with more modern taxis and cars of all sorts. You'll see Mercedes and some rundown cars, lots of scooters, but not as much as we saw in Jakarta, at least from what I've seen so far. But it's definitely more Western.